What's going down, everybody? Welcome back, fellas. So it's Tuesday, and with that, happy Tuesday, guys. So check it out, dude. We're out here in Bill's garage. I know you see the '09 sitting behind me with the hood open. We got to change the thermostat once again. Now, with that being stated, we're gonna have to talk a couple of minutes on the Murry thermostat and what I've realized and everything else, plus in-house parts, and how they're pretty much the same across the board, at least with the maker. So we're gonna jump into this real quick. We're gonna get this talking out of the way, then we're gonna get to work. We're gonna get it done. I'm not gonna do a thermostat change out video, but I am gonna throw some tips and tricks in along the way, because y'all know how I like to do it. So let's get over here to the workbench, full of stuff. Now, this is gonna take a couple of minutes, so bear with me, guys. This here is the Murry Plus. This here is a fail-safe thermostat. This here is a Napa house brand, which is in the truck right now. So, with this one here and this one here, the truck is running. Now, I have to throw this out here, man. The truck is running in between 206 and 212 degrees. Now, with that being said, dude, it is 55 degrees outside. That's the temperatures it runs on a 115 degree day or 110 degree day. That's where it normally stays with a good operating thermostat and a good cooling system. Now, with it being 55 degrees out here, man, I'm telling you, dude, that thing should run in between 199 degrees and no hotter than 204 degrees with the thermostat wide open, and that would be sitting at a red light or in a little bit of traffic. Now, with all that, so back to the thermostats. So this here is $23. It's a Murry Plus. It's trash, dude. It's junk. It's junk. It's junk. It's junk. Do not buy these, dude. These are trash. Oh, and here, let me get this one out too. The original problem here. Here we go. This was the original problem. You see the rubber fell right there. And the rubber fell right here. Now, this is a Murry Ultra, not a Plus, an Ultra. Now, let me tell you something about these. Same thing, trash. You saw where I got it from. Trash. Now, this one here, same thing as this one right here, dude. I mean, same thing. It's running the same. It's running just as hot. And this is brand new. So this one here was $28. It's the Napa house brand. Guess what? It's trash. Now, I will be taking all these back because altogether it's like 50 bucks. And this one here is the one we're going to go with. Now, there's a few things you need to know about this thermostat right here. It is a fail-safe thermostat. It is made by the same people, dude. Where's it at? Right there, Motorrad. This one here, same thing, Motorrad. Now, the difference that I'm seeing here, one, you see the brass pieces in there, right? So if this thing goes to fail or overheat, this will come down far enough and lock in. So that's the fail-safe part about this thermostat, is that when it fails in the open condition to keep the truck or car from overheating, versus this one that'll fail in the closed position, and that doesn't help the overheating. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk about, and I noticed, let me get these things from rolling around here, is look at this, $23. Look at that spring. Look at how heavy duty that spring is, right? So that spring has to collapse whenever your thermostat opens. And look at your bypass spring in here. Look at how heavy duty that thing looks. That's your $23 thermostat. It's the same with this one, which is your $28 thermostat. Now this here is your $50 thermostat. So the spring looks the same in diameter, right? But look at how there's less coils. So the less coils means it'll be easier to open. And then if you look at your bypass spring down here, look at how much thinner of a spring that is, which lets me know this will operate a little easier than being under the tension of something this heavy duty. I mean, that's a pretty stout spring on both sides of that thermostat. Now that all the talking's over with, man, I'm gonna get out here. I'm gonna show you how I drain my coolant without making a mess. and then I'm gonna go through the whole process, and then at the end, after some tips and tricks, we'll start it up, we'll do the run cycle, we'll get the thermostat to open, and we'll see if it's gonna act right. I'm hoping it is, seeing it's the same maker across the board, but that fail-safe was a little more expensive, which really doesn't mean much in today's society. But the thermostat itself looks like a better thermostat. So with that, man, we're gonna jump out here. I just got home from work. We're gonna see if the truck's cool enough to get the thermostat, the radiator cap open. And if it is, we're rolling with it, man. So y'all sit tight, kick back, relax. We're gonna go through this, and that'll be what's up, fellas. The first tip of the video, man. This is how I check. You see how there's pressure on that? You see how there's tension on it? So with that being said, man, it is not safe to open this radiator cap. If you cannot squeeze this freely, right, then you should not open your radiator cap. Y'all wanna know how I keep my fluid in my jug, how I reuse it? So I just put a piece, this is 5/16, it's actually overflow hose for a radiator. I just went and bought a 2-foot length, cut about 1.5 feet, slid it up on that petcock right there, and put a zip tie. Now it doesn't have to be super tight. You might get 1 or 2 drips, but it's not that big of a deal. So, and then I run it down into my radiator container, and just watch it. When it gets full, take your, let me get up here so you can see it. Take your screw right here, tighten it back up, swap it out, open it back up, you can drain everything. So that's how I do it, to keep the mess off the ground and or save the antifreeze if that's what you're doing. Seeing as I just replaced it, that is what I'm doing. And one more thing, dude, this is a very important tip. Never have your face directly over the top of your radiator cap like that when you open it. Always stand back like that and open it. Stand away, because if there is any pressure, it'll come up, hit the top of the hood, and that hot water is going to be on your face. So always, man, always make sure you're away from that cap when you open it. Okay guys, man, it's been like an hour, dude. So you see how that's really easy to squeeze? That's my point. You always, like I also stated, never put your face over your radiator cap, and then always pop it. It's got that lock, pop it, make sure there's no hidden pressures. Oop. And then release, right? And then I also want to show y'all, before, you know, anybody should I say, that wants to go, maybe you got a trapped air pocket, that's full, man. That is full. So we're gonna get into draining this, just like I showed you I was gonna drain it so I could save it. We'll get this swapped out real quick, man. Also, man, on another note, dude, always leave your radiator cap off when you're draining. From down here on your petcock, you see it right there, right? So it'll vent it, man. So I gotta watch that jug, and when it gets full, we'll run that set back in there, swap the jug out, and then we should be drained, little to no mess. And that is what I'm talking about, fellas. Here we go, fellas. So I got them all out. Before I put the fail-safe in, I wanted to give you a comparison of the 3. So Murry Plus looks like a pretty rigid spring, with another rigid spring for the relief valve, or the bypass. Napa House brand, which just says thermostat on it. Heavy duty spring, but their bypass spring looks a little milder than their actual spring. And then our fail-safe, we've already seen that a couple times. That's what we're gonna go with. So I'm gonna put this back in real quick. So here we are, guys. It's nighttime. We got the thermostat, the fail-safe put in the truck, took it out for a ride. Man, it's a no-go, dude. It's doing the same exact thing. So at this point, man, I've exhausted all my options locally here. Y'all know how I feel about ordering parts, so I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do yet. I'll put a video out tomorrow when I figure it out. I've been looking online for some Stanton thermostats. I really like Stanton thermostats, and my dad, DIY dad, used them my whole life. So, but the only one I've seen for the truck is like a 190. I want to run the factory temp, which is 203. Now, I mean, it didn't work out. It is the third time. Luckily, it only takes about 20 minutes to change it out, and I can save all my fluid like I showed you, man, how I save my antifreeze. And that'll be that, man. So we'll get into another change out. I'm probably not gonna record it, guys, but hey, at least you know what's up and what's going down. But the Murry Plus, the Napa house brand, and the fail-safe for 50 bucks, trash, dude. Do not buy them, man. That is a waste of time. Now, when I do come up with something and I do get a thermostat, which will be pretty quick, I'll drop y'all a short video and let y'all know what's going on and what I decided to go with. Now, with all that being said, I gotta state one more thing. So the Murry Ultra with the rubber piece in there, they came apart. Yeah, it came apart, and I think that's trash. But it did work correctly the whole time it was in there until the rubber come off. Now, I might end up going back with that. I'm not really sure yet, but I'm kind of leaning towards that because I need something quick. Now, with all that, dude, I'm rolling out, dude, so keep living the dream, doing your thing. Y'all have a great Tuesday night.